Mr. Clerk, please call the roll on reconvening.
Commissioner Cavell.
Here.
Commissioner Erickson Galt. Here. Commissioner Gershenson.
Here.
Commissioner Gingell. Commissioner Hoffman. Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Joliet. Commissioner Long. Commissioner Lubes.
Here.
Commissioner Markham.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Nelson.
Here.
Commissioner Powell.
Here.
Commissioner Smiley. Commissioner Smith Charles.
Present.
Commissioner Spiz.
Here.
Commissioner Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Weipert.
Here.
Commissioner Woodward.
Here.
Commissioner Long.
Here. Sorry.
Commissioner Joliet.
Here.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Present. Good.
Mr. Chair, there is a quorum.
Thank you very much. Other people are getting in. This will bring us, we will reconvene. This will bring us back to our regular agenda under Economic Development and Infrastructure Committee. I will call on the Honorable Chair, Yolanda Smith Charles.
Top of the morning, all. I am before you to move forward item, as the chairman just said, 15A.
15A. Moved by Yolanda Smith Charles, seconded by Commissioner Lenny Taylor. They'll bring the item before us. There is an amendment, the Powell Amendment number 1. Moved by Commissioner Powell, seconded by Commissioner Gershenson. Commissioner Powell, do you want to speak to your amendment?
Just to save time,
Microphone, ma'am.
To save time, I read it in caucus to everyone. Pretty self-explanatory, and we heard from Sean in regards to the hub zone stuff. So I just hope that I can get the support for this amendment. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And I mean, the amendment codifies things that are already in the existing contract, but affirms things that we will pursue efforts to ensure that all our local contractors have an opportunity to participate in this project. Mr. Clerk, please prompt the vote on a Powell Amendment number 1.
I have a question.
Commissioner Spiz. Sorry, didn't turn to my right yet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I heard you say that it's already codified in the contract and it's already part of, is it already something that our purchasing department is in our policies to follow this procedure anyway? So what's the intent of doing this? If it's already
It's an
part of our
underline.
procedure, it's just
Underlining.
reconfirming what we already are planning
Underlining.
to do? Underline.
Yes.
Bold, italics, underline?
Bold, italics, all of it. Yes.
All right.
Any further? Commissioner Hoffman.
Okay, I just want to be clear on this then. This is the procedure we follow now, or this is in addition to our procurement policy at Oakland County?
This is the procedure we're following with this project, yes. Which we have talked about ad nauseum since we purchased the property more than 2 years ago.
No, but is this the part of our procurement policy now for every project we do, or is this additional above and beyond what we're already doing in the official policy? Or what is different?
So this policy codifies federal policy as it relates to projects. We are bringing it into this project in Oakland County with slight modification to ensure that our minority-owned, veteran-owned, women-owned businesses can have a fair shot at being subcontractors in this project.
Is that in the policy right now?
Yes.
All those?
That is the policy that's in the contract that we have approved with Granger, yes.
Okay.
All right. So without any further discussion, please prompt the vote. The vote's been prompted.
Mr. Chair, there are 13 yeas, 4 nays.
With a sufficient number voting in the affirmative, the Powell amendment is adopted. Next up, I believe there's a couple other amendments. Commissioner Cavell has amendment number 2. Yes. Commissioner Cavell.
Yeah. Thank you. So, on the whole, each of these 3 amendments is to try and show, first, I want to just make sure we lift up.
Wait, Commissioner Cavell, is there, you're moving to move?
Oh, sorry,
amend-
second. Yeah,
All right.
move. Yeah, thank you. My bad.
Commissioner Amendment number
Excited.
2 is moved. Is there a second for Commissioner Amendment number 2? Seconded by Commissioner Nelson. Commissioner Cavell.
Thank you. So, yeah, the intent of each of these 3 amendments is to show all of us that in light of looming Fed cuts to Health and Human Services, Medicaid, and HUD, that we can and should make sure that we're being conscious of investing in the community, the neighborhood, and the people of Pontiac, as well as downtown and the 2 buildings. And if we're going to put $25 million from our savings account into the Pontiac checking account, it seems only just that we can also put $25 million into the health department to make sure that the cuts that are already coming to us, as you recall, we had to fire 5 people from the health department due to budget concerns due to a federal grant. We can do this and build the Pontiac building. So I just want to lift that up and make that the focus for the community and residents of Pontiac, as well as the Pontiac redevelopment project downtown.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Cavell. I'm going to rule that this amendment is not germane to the topic.
At all,
The amendment is not germane.
at all.
I don't, cool. We're still voting on it though, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Moving on.
no, I want to recess
amendment,
to learn
Commissioner,
why you're saying
amendment
that.
number 3.
Why is it not germane?
It's not germane to the topic that's before us.
No, explain yourself.
I did.
No, you said it's not germane.
It's
That's
not
not a
germane.
justification.
Done.
Okay, cool. You know
Amendments-
this on camera, right? Like the news is gonna see you say this.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's not germane. You are,
It's not germane.
You're
Okay.
introducing a topic that's not germane to the topic.
It's an
Moving on to the
amendment.
next amendment.
It's an
Commissioner Cavell,
amendment on an
amendment number
approved
2.
agenda.
Oh,
Okay.
excuse me, amendment number 3.
No, amendment number 2, because you only did 1, where I talked about the health initiative. Amendment number 2.
Cavell
Oh, it's
amendment
called-
number 2 was the amendment you
Okay.
did,
Nope.
ruled
Yep.
not germane. Now we're in
Remember that
Cavell
news. Dave
amendment
was
number 3.
Remember
Moved
that
by
part.
Commissioner Cavell, seconded by Commissioner Nelson. Commissioner Cavell.
Okay, well, I guess since we're just going there, both the physical and social infrastructure of Pontiac is crumbling. They have thousands of lead lines that, due to Republican leaders in Lansing, have been forced to have to pay to remove so that there is not another Flint water crisis in communities like Pontiac or anywhere else. They have a constrained budget, so this initiative of $25 million is to lift up the fact that we can and should invest in the community of Pontiac, like paying to replace lead lines, and build a rec center, which I know has been on the to-do list for Pontiac for several years, and do road improvements, and shout out to you, Gwen, why not install fiber optic in neighborhoods so that people can have fast, affordable internet and make Pontiac like a truly 21st century city? So,
My neighborhood too.
this is an amendment to truly invest in the community of Pontiac, into wealth building, into infrastructure that will help people, both physically and socially, have a higher quality of life. I hope that's also germane to the redevelopment of Pontiac, because it is about Pontiac and the people of Pontiac.
Thank you, Commissioner Cavell. I'm going to rule that this amendment is not germane to the topic before us. The amendment is out of order. Let's move it on to Cavell amendment number 4.
Okay, this is the big one.
Moved by Commissioner Cavell, seconded by Commissioner Spiz.
So, this amendment is, our housing department, as we all know, is literally 100% funded by HUD, and then the Affordable Housing Trust Fund is 100% funded by state revenue sharing. Both of those things are on the chopping block right now in DC to the tune of a 30% cut. So this is to help the housing department be able to invest in critical home repairs, which I get calls, as a commissioner not for Pontiac, I get calls about people living in squalor because they cannot afford in Pontiac and other places, but because we're talking about Pontiac, they cannot afford to replace the roof that has brought mold in their house. There is a woman that has to use a porta-john in her backyard because her house is so unlivable in the city of Pontiac. This is reprehensible, it's disrespectful, and undignified. If we're going to put money into this building downtown, let's also put money into giving people a dignified life and a safe home. That's what the initiative here before you is about.
As a pattern this morning, this amendment is non-germane to the topic before us. That brings us back to the main motion. Any further discussion on the main motion? Commissioner Miller.
Thank you, Chair. So I'll say we talk about for years that we're for helping working people, we're for growing our communities. If you were at the Economic Outlook yesterday, every single city, township, village in Oakland County grew last year. And voting no against this is voting against growing our communities, because by growing Pontiac, we're growing a bigger tax base, which helps us do more programs, which could be other resolutions that Commissioner Cavell could do when we get that revenue in, and other communities can grow from that. So voting no on this is voting against working people, growing Oakland County. Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Powell.
I just want to say, as the commissioner for a majority of the city of Pontiac, the amendments that were discussed, just to let residents know, we do have things in place, either currently in the city or discussion on a table currently at the county to discuss these things at probably a soon to later time. But as of right now, I'm happy that these amendments are not going forward, because our focus right now is for the Phoenix Center. That is a priority for our city. That is a game changer. And last I knew, we all, Democrats, were all on the same page when we first passed this back in February. So all this foolishness that's going on right now is just absurd. So I just wanted to make note of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Long, followed by Commissioner Spiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So on all this discussion, I keep hearing us say, or everybody say, we're going to move to Pontiac. Last I know, I'm sitting in the seat of Pontiac right now. I pay City of Pontiac taxes. I do income taxes for working here. So we are in the City of Pontiac. We might not be where everyone wants it to be in the center of Pontiac, but we are in Pontiac. And by moving, we're going to have abandoned buildings here and cause blight in the other area of Pontiac. So I am against the project from the beginning and still against it. I don't understand why people say help Pontiac out. We are sitting in Pontiac right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Spiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As we've continued to talk about this project for almost a year now, and what comes to mind, a want, 2 years? Okay, 2 years. A want versus a need, all right? I'm all for if something that is needed. You know, I voted yes for a lot of things for the city of Pontiac. You know, the brownfield development, actually I voted yes on taking down the Phoenix Center because I believe it was something that needed to come down. But I'm still stuck in that position of a want versus of a need. So as I started to think about this, what came to mind was the movie Field of Dreams. Everybody see that? Right? And I can envision Executive Coulter sitting on his couch and somebody speaking over his ear saying, if you build it, they will come. That's what I envision. And to me, that's still a want, not a need. And then I think of, okay, how many times have I potentially done something in life or made a decision here at the Board of Commissioners that I go back and say, I regret that decision? You know, has anybody ever gone out and bought a ATV, an RV, a boat? No. And 2 years later, like, crap, why did I buy this? Right? That is my fear with this project. Why would we do this? And I hate to see every one of you 2 years from now regret this decision, because this is not a small decision. It's $175 million minimum. There's other money that's going to need to be spent on this project. It's probably the biggest project. I think Chairman Woodard made this comment yesterday. Probably one of the biggest projects in Oakland County history that we're looking to approve. So I ask all of you to rethink that. Is this something that we really, truly need? or is it a want? In my opinion, it's a want, because Commissioner Long made a great statement. We are in the city of Pontiac already. We may not be downtown in the middle of everything. We are in the city of Pontiac. So will it truly improve the situation in the city of Pontiac, which is the goal, which I would support? You know, when other people have built facilities, you know, if you look around the country, when has this been done? Do we have data to support it? Because one thing I've been asking for 2 years is data. Show me data, all right, that supports this is a need. Especially not just for the city of Pontiac, but for all of Oakland County, because the last time I checked, we represent all of Oakland County, not just the city of Pontiac. Yes, we try to help our communities where we can, and we have always done that. But I still have failed to see data and a business plan that supports this project. So at this time, I don't understand how we can vote yes on this, so I will be voting no.
Thank you, Commissioner Spitz. Commissioner Cavell, followed by Commissioner Nelson.
First, real quick, I think Mike's trying to get rid of a boat and an ATV and an RV he bought recently. I just want to lift up for clarity, and again, because we're in the news. What this is doing today is we will appropriate $25 million, which will come from what we call our strategic reserve fund, this government speak for savings account, and put it into the Pontiac redevelopment fund, which is government speak for a checking account. And then soon, we will go out to bond for $174,525,000. And at current bond interest rates for AAA muni bonds at 20 years, it's about $120 million in interest, and at 30 years, it's about $150 million in interest, just FYI. So what we're gonna do is, in effect, and I don't know if anyone else has family that's gotten stuck in the payday loan loop, but it's borrowing money from your savings account to put into your checking, then taking out a loan to replenish your savings account. That's the payday loan loophole, or the payday loan loop. And this is, one, a non-traditional way to do finances with government and taxpayer money. Two, it is extra weird that, again, I've been harping on financial transparency, because if you all remember, before we all lost our stuff on me, and you don't like that I'm hanging out with the Republicans, and even worse, I'm hanging out with Kristen. Before all that happened, I was the budget nerd. I was the budget nerd, remember? I was the guy that made meetings take forever because I was like, I have a couple of questions about these dollars and cents. So again, this is us falling into the government version of a payday loan, and we have not gotten financial transparency to my liking, and I'm the budget nerd. So again, I know you've been told and texted and called that I'm the devil, but I'm a union member, and also I'm the budget nerd. So I'm just asking questions, and I have not gotten answers. I cannot vote for this. And again, this is the government version of a payday loan, unless someone tells me different, and no one has yet to.
I'm going to tell you different. You're crazy. Commissioner Johnson.
Chairman, I was next.
Thank you, Mr.
Nope,
Chair.
you're not.
Just-
Commissioner Johnson.
Just two quick things. The first is I happy to admit that we are in Pontiac right now. The county executive is not. The county executive's office is in Waterford, and just for the sake of symbolism, if nothing else, I think it would be great if our county executive lived and worked, or not lived, but worked in the county seat. I think that would be a nice symbolic thing, right? Two, I get that however much this project costs, and we don't know how much this project costs because there are unknown tariffs on steel and lumber, and this project is going to take a few years to construct. So no, you can't buy a building off a shelf. We do not know how much this is going to cost. We can guess pretty well. We have math, right? But there's no finite cost. The third thing is, no matter how much it does cost, it is hundreds of millions of dollars cheaper to consolidate many departments into one office tower somewhere, and in this case it's in downtown Pontiac, than it is to comply with the Plant Moran study that was conducted under the auspices of this board about our critical infrastructure on our campus. We have dozens of buildings on our campus that are crumbling, right? Maybe not this building, not this room, but there are many other buildings on our campus that are not quality places for our employees to work. No matter which way you slice it, this is going to save us hundreds of millions of dollars over the next few years. And I'm sorry, I'm a millennial policymaker. My time horizon for every decision that I make is 2100, not 2035. So this, from my vantage point, is a really good long-term investment. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Nelson.
Transformational projects deserve transformational transparency. My opposition is not about saying no to progress. It's about saying yes to doing it right.
Thank you. Commissioner Joliet.
Thank you. My concern is the investment into one single municipality. There are a number of other municipalities in Oakland County that need infrastructure repair, that need many things, and this is just an exorbitant amount to put into one community. And just to clarify, the center of Oakland County is at Crescent Lake and M59, which is Waterford. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, Commissioner Yolanda Smith-Charles.
Yeah, thank you. I'm obviously fully supportive of this. You can't hear me? I'm fully supportive of this, obviously. Been making sausage on this for 2+ years. To not support it today, and I'm talking to my caucus, the ones who have the control, that we would get to this point about so-called transparency that has been available to all of my commissioner colleagues since the get. I said it last night, I'll say it again, it's totally disingenuous, this whole fiasco that we're here this morning. And I didn't hear any consternation 45 years ago for Springfield Oaks. Did we need Springfield Oaks? Did we need some of those parks, beautiful parks north of M59? Did we need them? Did that serve the people that close to 8 Mile, whose cities and villages and townships touch 8 Mile? I don't think we were talking about overspending back then as far as urban sprawl. So again, friends, colleagues, countrymen, I ask that you gather your souls today and support something that could be something that your great-great-grandkids will see your name and say to themselves, Uncle Spiz, Uncle Michael, he was there for this. I'm so excited, and this means so much to me that he invested in our county seat, whether it's the center or not, it's the seat. So again, let's join hands. Let's collaborate, let's be together on this, especially my caucus. But if we can't be, I believe today we'll stand in history for those who wanted to see progress versus those who wanted to see stagnation. And that's what I have for you, Chair.
Thank you, Aunt Smith-Charles. With that, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Excuse me, I meant not call the roll, prompt the vote. Mr. Clerk, please prompt the vote.
What are we voting on?
The original motion.
We're going to be voting on the motion with the Powell amendment adopted.
Mr. Chair, there are 10 yeas, 7 nays.
A sufficient number voting in the affirmative, the amendment is adopted. Commissioner Smith-Charles.
Thank you, Chair. That concludes the portions for EDI today.
Thank you very much. That will move us to new and miscellaneous business. The first item under this is a topic that we've been talking about for quite some time. It's an amendment to the School Resource Officer Addendum for the 2025-2027 Law Enforcement Service Agreement. Can I get a motion? Moved by Commissioner Spiz, seconded by Commissioner Lubes. This is, I'll just speak to it very briefly. I want to thank the Sheriff's Office, Risk Management, the Oakland schools and local school districts for figuring out there was some dispute between individual school district insurance providers to reconcile our SRO contract model policy that we adopted more than a year ago. We've resolved it. It's captured in this. I don't think there's any further discussion that's necessary. If people have any questions, not seeing any. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, will you please prompt the vote? Yes. Call it.
Mr. Chair, there are 16 yeas, 0 nays.
Sufficient number voted in the affirmative. The amendment to the school resource officer addendum is approved. We've got a number of other resolutions to be introduced. The first one is urging the Michigan legislature to support a significant increase in funding for Michigan 211 helpline in fiscal year 2026. I'm going to ask Vice Chair Gershenson to introduce, and we refer to the Legislative Affairs and Operation Committee without objection. The next one, Commissioner Cavell.
Thank you. I'd like referred to the Finance Committee and authorization for a forensic audit of Oakland County fiscal controls and capital projects.
Referred to Lago without objection. Next up is, I'll call on Commissioner Nelson.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the Oakland County Whistleblower Protection Policy, and I would like to have that referred to the Legislative Affairs and Government Operations Committee.
Referred without objection. The next two are in response to actions in Washington opposing the elimination of CDBG home funding for fiscal year 2026 in the federal budget. Commissioner Gershenson will refer to Lago without objection. And also opposing the fiscal year 2026 federal budget cuts to Medicaid funding. Commissioner Gershenson refers to Lago without objection. All right, that'll move us to announcements. Commissioner Cavell.
Thank you, Commissioner Gershenson, for seeing how germane it is to try and protect CDBG, home, and Medicaid.
You're out of order. The resolution was referred to the committee in order, not germane. Seeing no further announcements, we will move to the second public comment. And for those who were here last night, and I spoke to many, and again, I fully understand the frustration. These board meetings are business meetings, and circumstances evolved that required us to have to postpone until this morning. We are going to take extraordinary steps to ensure that all the voices, those who were here last night, are heard. We have allowed individuals to send in written comments, to read written comments, and so with the permission of the body, that we will make sure that the opportunity to communicate the points that they wanted to make last night can be done this morning, and if necessary, we will arrange for staff to read in individual comments. So I'm going to start with those who signed in. I realize that some of these individuals might not be here, but if they are, I'm going to read them first, and then additional people who want to speak during this public comment. This is the opportunity to speak on any topic, whether it was on the agenda or not. The agenda, please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and direct your comments to me, the chair. And I will start with Sherilyn Everly from the great city/township of Holly.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Just as a point of clarification, I have a letter from a neighbor who was here last night. Can I use both?
You can.
I'd like to start with Mr. Jack Stouffer. My name is Jack Stouffer, and I'd like to spend my time talking about the importance of the Stiffs Mill Pond to the village of Holly, and why I believe the county should be a party to the negotiations between Holly and the DNR, and why it should oppose its drainage. The question before you is, why should Oakland County care about this pond? Oakland County is unique in the southeast of Michigan due to its thriving small-town economies and its abundance of natural beauty. If the county wants to keep this unique character, it has to fight to defend it. How does this pond contribute to this unique character? I own a home directly on the pond, so I will admit that I am biased, but my proximity also gives me unique perspective. As an Eagle Scout, I can say the pond hosts an astonishing level of diversity for such a small area. I see too many different animals to list, but some include geese, ducks, muskrats, coyotes, herons, cranes, dozens of species of songbirds, every manner of frog. I see sometimes dozens of trumpeter swans in the pond at once, which I will note, trumpeter swans are on the Michigan Threatened Species list, and I personally saw a bald eagle. My neighbors report also seeing golden eagles and osprey. This strong ecology and natural beauty attracts many to our town. Practically every day, rain or shine, I see at least one person in a small fishing boat on the pond and several more people fishing on the shore. On weekends, I see dozens of people kayaking down the Shiawassee River and Buckhorn Creek and passing through the pond. It's clear that the pond's healthy ecosystem helps form its beauty, and its beauty attracts people to our town. As the son of a Holly small business owner, I can tell you that many people come to downtown Holly area, not only for the historic downtown buildings, but also for this beauty. In contrast, one need only look at Davisburg to see how ugly a drained pond can be. It's not easy to keep your small town thriving when the main road to your town would have such an ugly water feature. Additionally, if Oakland County wants its natural beauty and unique character to exist into the future, it must encourage citizens to be good stewards of nature. There's hardly a better way to do that than to encourage people to be active in nature. I believe the fishing and kayaking activities in the pond alone create more environmentally aware people than most outreach programs. It took decades for the ecology of the pond to form and attract people to our town. The village can destroy that in a day. The Village of Holly is facing budget concerns and is therefore poised to let short-term thinking rule its decisions. I ask the county to intervene and oppose draining the Stiff Mill Pond in Holly. Thank you. I'd rather come back for my letter, if that's okay.
Do you want to go to someone else and come back, or you want to do it now?
Yes, I'd like to go to somebody else.
That's perfectly fine. I'll bring you back up in a minute. Next up, I've got Chris Kakos.
Dear Commissioners, my name is Christopher Kakos, and I'm 18 years old. I'm here to ask you, please do not allow the mill pond to be drained and to help save the dam by repairing it. Over the past year, my family and I, and even some friends, have spent countless hours working on our new property on the mill pond. We've cleared brush, picked up trash, created walking paths, and even built campsites. I myself have personally invested in this property financially, and I have invited friends out to spend weekends camping, fishing, and just enjoying nature together. These have been some of the best experiences of my life, and we are planning to keep coming back, to keep building and improving the property. And eventually, I hope to build a small, semi-permanent shelter there. But if the mill pond is drained, none of this will be possible anymore. The area would become inaccessible, as it is only accessible due to the mill pond. And the special place we've put so much effort and care into would be gone. This is more than just a piece of land to me. It's where I've made memories, learned responsibility, and felt deeply connected to the outdoors in my community. Please consider saving the mill pond. It affects more than just my town and my community. I am tired of moving and have finally found a place to put down roots. If our mill pond ends up a useless swampland, I will be forced to relocate to a different place. There's still time to preserve it. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next up, Regina Kakos. Kakos, excuse me.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Regina Kakos, and I am a Stiff's Mill Pond resident. Although my family has only lived near the mill pond for just over 3 years, we immediately fell in love with the breathtaking natural beauty that surrounds us. Our commitment to this unique environment runs deep. We recently reinvested in the area by purchasing property on the opposite side of the pond. Draining the mill pond and removing the dam would not only destroy the landscape we cherish, but would also make our property entirely inaccessible. There are no roadways to our property, and there cannot be. Beyond personal impact, I want to highlight the severe environmental and ecological consequences of such an action. The mill pond, its headwaters, watershed, and river trail are vital habitats for a diverse array of plant and animal species. These waterways serve as crucial migratory stopovers for numerous bird species, including multiple families of swans that return each year to nest and raise their cygnets. During the winter months, the pond provides essential unfrozen water, allowing these swans and other waterfowl to feed and survive. One of the most significant ecological treasures here is the lake dwarf iris, Michigan's official state wildflower. This rare and beautiful plant grows along the edges of the mill pond and its headwaters. Sadly, it is both federally endangered and state threatened. draining the pond would pose a serious threat to its already fragile existence. The environmental damage from draining the mill pond would be profound and irreversible. I sincerely urge Oakland County to recognize the ecological significance of this area and take leadership in protecting it for the wildlife, for the community, and for future generations. And we thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Next up, Camden Kikos.
My name is Camden Kikos. I am 16 years old. I am speaking to you today not as a student, but as someone who considers the mill pond a part of my home. The mill pond isn't just a body of water. It's a place where I've started growing up, spent time with friends, found peace, and connected with nature. This is my first home since COVID, and it's really changed my life for the better. It's also the home of ducks, turtles, frogs, fish, birds, and so many other creatures that depend on it to survive. This place matters, not just to me, but for all of them too. When I hear that the mill pond could be in danger or changed in ways that may hurt the ecosystem, I feel like a part of my community is being ignored. As someone who still has their whole life ahead of them here, I'm asking you to protect this place, for me and for the wildlife who can't speak for themselves. Please think about what this means to lose a place like this. Once it's gone or damaged, we can't get it back. And if we, or even you, say we care about nature, about the environment, and saving future generations, maybe we can prove that by saving places like the mill pond. I may be only 16, but I already understand how important it is to stand up for what matters. I hope you'll listen, not just to the adults in the room, but to those of us who are still growing up in it. Thank you for your time and doing what is right for all of us who care about the mill pond.
Thank you. Next, I'm going to call on Ashley Schuler.
I have two to read. Someone was here last night. And,
Yep.
I can't make it.
And so. Yeah.
Don't start my 3 minutes yet. I still
Out
have
of
to open.
consideration, don't need to start. I think the ones that I think have been sent around and printed out, and people have as well.
Okay.
So.
Okay, great.
The floor is yours, Ashley.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
do mine first, if that's
Okay.
okay. Okay, great. All right. Good evening, commissioners. I don't even know that's what you're called. Are you called commissioners? Yes. Okay. My name is Ashley Schuler, and I actually live upriver from the mill pond. I'm technically in Rose Township. And then on the other side is parts of Davisburg and Springfield Township as well. So we're all upriver from the mill pond. I'm here tonight because we're facing a looming crisis and we need help. We need help. Holly can't do it on their own, and we need your help. They've declared the dam is dangerous, and unless Oakland County can help us repair this, it will be drained. And it's not just gonna affect the pond. First off, it'll make the Shiawassee that's in front of my house just like a little muddy stream. Which will lower, obviously, my property values, the property values of the mill pond, and pretty much up the 40-mile stretch, which is multiple cities and townships in Oakland County. So this is a county problem. It's not just a Holly problem. But it gets worse, and I really love that we honored older people last night because this issue actually does impact elderly and low-income people. The neighborhood that I live in, I'll just be real, it's a trailer park. It's a trailer park. Most of the people in this neighborhood are low income or, what is it called when you don't have an income? Like when you're older or, yeah, they basically fixed income. Thank you. They're on fixed income. So like in my cul-de-sac alone, I thought about it last night, there's 10 houses in my little cul-de-sac. 4 of them I know for sure are low income, and 3 of them are elderly. 1 of those are shut-ins, so they cannot leave the house, they cannot do anything. The river is their life. This is what they look at every day. And so we found out from the Davisburg pond being drained that people in that neighborhood had to drill new wells. 120 homes are back there in that trailer park. We are all on private wells. So if you estimate that it's going to cost each of us $10,000 to drill a new well, that's $1.2 million of private money that's going to have to go into this. That's half the cost of just fixing the dam. So I just want you guys to please consider helping us. It's not fair that low-income and elderly people now are going to have to bear the brunt of a township not doing what it should have in 2011. It's not fair, and I know that it's a lot to ask from you all. I know that there's lots of money being spent elsewhere, and you guys approved something today, and so it seems like small beans, you know, compared to what you guys are trying to accomplish. But for us, and why I got so emotional last night, is like, it's real for us. It's a real economic impact that will force people out of their homes. It will increase rent for those who are renting. And I love my house. I love my house. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay. Can I come back and do my second letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Sherilyn, do you want to? We'll tag team. There we go.
Take team speeches.
Again, for those who weren't here last night, because of our recess, we're creating the space for people who were here, couldn't be here. We're taking extraordinary steps to make sure that all the voices are heard.
And we really appreciate that too.
Well,
Thank you very,
appreciate-
very
thank
much.
you.
Okay, again, I'm Sherilyn Everly. I live on Hadley Street. I'm a second generation person that's lived on Hadley Street. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources Eagle Division has demanded the Village of Holly immediately repair the dam and berm on the Holly Mill Pond or face litigation. They also want all the water drained from the pond and that it be left empty until we repair or remove the dam, per remarks that were made by Brian Clausen, the Holly Village DPW Director at the May 13th Holly Village Council meeting. We understand the need for dam safety and respect Eagle's position. The Village of Holly owns the dam, and our historic Stiffs Mill Pond has served us in many ways for over 185 years. It powered our mills and attracted the railroads. The second oldest home in town was built on its shores, and the pond became, and still is, a place where the community gathers and recreates. Just this week, I learned that during our devastating downtown fire 3 years ago, it was a brilliant DPW worker who diverted water from the mill pond to our water system that had been drained dry, and they were able to continue fighting the fire. We all have reasons not to mess with our mill pond: economical, ecological, environmental, recreational. We know the impact of losing the mill pond will affect 40 square miles upstream, and that includes protected wetlands and the Holly Shores subdivision with over 100 homes on wells and septic fields. Downstream, the ability to use the Shiawassee River National Water Trail will be diminished and probably disappear in the prime summer months. While the Edenville Dam collapse is a cautionary tale, the Holly Mill Pond is a totally different situation. When Eagle required repairs to the earthen berm adjacent to the dam, the Village of Holly responded by having that work done in 2021. However, we residents have only recently learned that the work was not permitted and not done properly, and we have that environmental report. What would be the harm in draining the dam? Go visit Davisburg and see the results of the $5 million Oakland County project that obliterated their beautiful mill pond. Ask the residents what they think. Per Commissioner Bob Hoffman, 6 homes lost their wells because of the disturbance to the groundwater. We are asking the County Board of Commissioners to appoint someone, perhaps a member of Executive Coulter's Community Relations team, to be at the table during the upcoming fact-finding session being held at the Holly Village offices on Tuesday, May 7th at 6 p.m. The Shiawassee River starts in Springfield Township, flows through Rose Township into Holly Village, and on through Holly Township into Fenton. We obviously believe this precious resource deserves your immediate attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Me again?
Okay. One more time. I know that there's...
This time I'll stay on script. It's somebody else's letter, so.
Yeah.
No going off script. Okay. This is from Drew Zurinsky, who I met last night. My name is Drew Zurinsky. I'm a proud resident of the Village of Holly and owner of a home that sits on the edge of one of the most historically and ecologically significant places in Oakland County's Stiff Mill Pond. I stand before you today not only as a homeowner, but as a representative of generations of families, nature lovers, and local business owners who understand that what we risk here is far more than just a body of water. We risk losing a vital piece of history, our ecosystem, our community identity, and a key driver of our local economy. Let me begin with a little history. Oh, this is fun. In 1836, Ira C. Alger, the first settler within what would become the corporate limits of Holly, built a simple log cabin near where the pond sits today. Just a few years later, in 1843, he dammed the Shiawassee to power a sawmill and then a grist mill, giving birth to Holly's first business district. The dam of what we now call Stiff Mills Pond, a site that has been at the heart of the community ever since. It is no exaggeration to say that without this pond, there may have been no Holly. Today, the 23.4-acre pond is a cherished treasure, a place of serenity, natural beauty, and community gathering. It is completely accessible to the public and offers something for everybody. Scenic views, canoeing, kayaking, fishing, and the opportunity to observe migratory birds and local wildlife in a thriving ecosystem. My children learn to fish from its banks. I hope one day their children will do the same. But the potential removal of the dam that sustains this pond is in jeopardy. The consequences would be devastating for our families. The removal of the dam would drop the water table significantly, potentially leaving residents in the nearby Rose and Springfield Township, that's me, needing to drill new wells at a considerable personal expense. Boo, right? Okay, for our property owners, 20 homes along the pond would face substantial drops in property value. Ugh. Meanwhile, homes on the opposite side could face unexpected flooding, turning their beloved water feature into a hazard. For our wildlife, displacing the aquatic life that's made this pond its home would be catastrophic. Migratory birds that rely on this habitat would be disrupted, and a well-balanced ecosystem would be torn apart. Sorry, it's harder to read the longer you go on. For a local economy, Holly's vibrant historical downtown, its charming bed and breakfast, and its recreational tourism are major attractions in Oakland County. Stiff Mills Pond is central to that appeal. Visitors don't just come for the shops, they come for the beauty, the wildlife, and the peace they find in and around the pond. Removing the dam doesn't just erase history, it creates new, far-reaching problems. And all of it without the consent. That's really, really powerful. Without the consent from those who live here, who cherish this place, and who will feel the impact most profoundly. I'm gonna keep going because they're not here. Now I understand that repairing the dam is a significant financial undertaking, but I also know that it is an investment worth making. With proactive approach, we can pursue funding through water quality and infrastructure grants, historical preservation programs, like we heard about last night, and local fundraising efforts to help offset the costs. We're not asking the county to bear this burden alone. We're asking for your partnership, your advocacy, and your commitment to preserving a shared legacy. We must not allow this decision to be made behind closed doors or rushed through a bureaucratic process. The people of Holly deserve a voice, and this community deserves a future that honors its past. Commissioners, I ask you to stand with us, help preserve Stiff Mill Pond in Holly, not just for today, but for generations to come. Let's not tear down a vital part of Holly's heart when we have the power, resources, and community that want to support and save it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I've got John Love. The best seat of the house.
The biggest problem we really are facing here is Michigan is 41st in the United States in a school system. We don't care about that. We're going to build Coulter Towers. Take that off the tax rolls, and we're going to move down there and make a contribution. Well, I would look at the neighborhood down there. Oh, they have nice bars right next door. Oh, they got a pawn shop, for sale buildings, and nightclubs. That's a great neighborhood to move Oakland County to, but we have a new image here. We're gonna go Pontiac. Forget education. Take that off the tax rolls. We don't need education. We need a new office. This thing is so ridiculous. It reflects on the fact that you're all smoking dope, because it's the stupidest thing I can think of. So I have an idea here to resolve it, and it's called a recall petition. So I'm going to start one on our great leader, Coulter, with the Coulter Towers. So I hope you'll join in and contribute to that, because you have this kind of leadership that's just stupid. It's just off the chart. There's no sense. You have a beautiful campus here. What are you going to do? Turn it into a golf course? There's the ashtrays are full. No, you're smoking dope. Stop it now instead of going crazy. This is off the chart. It's an insult to the community. It's an insult to logic. And it's going to be, we'll have to see what the vote is on a recall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Love. Next, I've got Emrit Coley.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Amrit Kohli. I'm a Ferndale resident, and I am Oakland County. Commissioner Woodward, are you ashamed of yourself yet? For more than a year, we have been coming here begging you to take up a resolution to support Palestine, but you have refused to move on this vital issue. Meanwhile, more than 60,000 Palestinians have been slaughtered by Israel while you fail to act. You, sir, are a coward. And your decision is informed by your racist attitude toward Palestine, which is shared by those of you who support Israel. You cannot support Israel without supporting genocide. Israel is genocide. Israel is the very embodiment of what committing genocide looks like. For almost 3 months, Israel has held a total blockade of food and supplies into Gaza in what is known internationally as a war crime. Intentionally causing a people to starve is what the British did to the Irish during the potato famine. Millions of Irish people were killed by that man-made famine. Are you just going to sit there and let it happen again because the people it's happening to now are brown? Are you satisfied with yourself that you have done nothing to stop and prevent the genocide of the Palestinian people except sit here and pretend like it's not happening? You, sir, are a racist white man because you refuse to see humanity in the Palestinians. You went out of your way to deny Palestinians their dignity when you carelessly skipped the anti-genocide resolution this year that this body has passed for the last several years before Israel invaded Palestine on October 9th. 2023. You wouldn't have let that you didn't even let that resolution come to the floor, like you aren't letting our resolution for Palestine come to the floor. Why? Why are you blocking our efforts to support Palestine? Feed the people of Gaza. Stop Israel from committing genocide. You must act. Your white privilege allows you to be this much of a jerk. If you weren't white, we would have passed this resolution more than a year ago. Why are you okay with starving the Palestinian people? Do you not have a conscience? You must not. You simply don't care. I hope you run for a different seat because we here in Oakland County will be thrilled when you aren't chair of this body anymore. You won't win any election until you face the Palestinian people and the genocide being committed by Israel. I promise you that. If you can't stand against genocide, you should just sit down and shut your mouth, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Coley. Ashley, are there other letters you want? One more? Yes, Regina.
Hello, I am here on behalf of my neighbor and his daughter, Travis Zorinsky. Hi, I'm Travis Zorinsky, Holly resident. You stated you would read my statement at the Friday morning meeting. I didn't have a statement, but my daughter asked me to read hers. If you are inclined, please read her comment as follows. This is the comment from Stella Zorinsky, who is a 7-year resident of Holly and first grader at Holly Elementary School. To whom it may concern. Hi, I'm Stella Q. Zorinsky. Please don't get rid of the pond because me and my brother Rhett like fishing there. Also, if there was no pond, why would we go hunting for worms? Another reason is the pond was there for my whole life, and Rhett's whole life too. When I'm on my swing, it just wouldn't feel right, and it would not feel clean. The plants would not be very healthy. Is that enough reasons? From Stella Q. Zorinsky. And I know they are kids' words from her perspective, but she wanted them read. I think her opinion counts too. And since I have a few other moments here, I wanted to show you that she actually did write this beautiful little letter, and he typed it up so that it would be easier for us to read. And her brother do go fishing, In fact, this family invites every single person that they've ever known to come and fish at this pond. And if they catch a fish, they take a picture and print that picture out of whoever it is, even if they've just met them, and hang it in their home because they feel it's important to honor the wonderful heritage, and they're trying to teach that to their children as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next up, Jody White.
Thank you. I'm glad yesterday was talking about elder abuse. As you guys know, I've been here for a while. I do want to clarify the word corruption, though, and it's the process of which something is changed from its original use, and it's archaically, it's called decay. The potato turned black and rotten with corruption. So as I use that word, please bear with me on this. There is a systemic corruption in the Oakland County probate system. The State Bar of Michigan, Oakland County Bar Association, the Attorney Grievance Commission, and the Judicial Tenure Commission are concealing evidence of criminal conduct within our probate system. These oversight bodies know that probate judges allow professional attorneys to submit false information to the courts regarding vulnerable families and their estates. This conduct constitutes fraud on the court and criminal behavior. There is a pattern enabling embezzlement by state actors. In probate courts, or in probate cases, judges are aware that attorneys are the enablers who are helping nefarious family members to embezzle funds from estates. When a family member seeks discovery to uncover evidence of these embezzlement concerns by a court-ordered subpoena, probate judges routinely deny these requests. By blocking discovery, judges and attorneys ensure that criminal conduct remains hidden and perpetrators escape accountability. The John Sterling White probate file, our family, exemplifies the corruption. The assigned Oakland County probate judge made rulings preventing criminal evidence from reaching a jury trial in probate court. The judge deliberately harmed the middle son of by first permitting his counsel to withdraw, then dismissing the same family member as an heir and denying him standing in his own father's estate. These rulings were purposefully designed to suppress evidence that would have exposed the criminal playbook orchestrated by these state actors. The same state actors who are, as members of the State Bar of Michigan, were investigated and removed from their state roles here by the Attorney General back in August of 2019. I've been here since 2012. You guys know this is a systemic issue. There are ongoing judicial irregularities. Probate court sessions recently featured over the past year here in Oakland County have judges lacking proper authority, including a removed judge for being biased and a visiting judge whose term has expired, but she continues to serve without voters' approval, violating our democratic judicial selection process. And again, the 2018 Court of Appeals ruling that provided our family a jury trial in probate, but was denied by Judge O'Brien. That is a judicial irregularity. The probate administrator has responded. I've emailed all of you. You guys probably Jody Rice White at Gmail. Attorney Ed Hutton has acknowledged our concerns and has agreed to provide access to probate files. This creates an opportunity for comprehensive investigation. The 19 Oakland County Commissioners must please consider establishing a probate task force to investigate systemic probate corruption. This task force needs full jurisdiction and authority to collect the evidence, review the probate files, and examine judges and attorneys who are enriching themselves through this predatory practice. As one of the Michigan's 83 counties, Oakland County can lead statewide reform and accountability. We cannot allow state actors to continue enriching themselves while betraying their oath to uphold justice. The evidence is there, and we need the courage to uncover it. The time for accountability is now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. White. Next up, I got Nabel Sater. Oh, I saw you there. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Nabil Sayer. I'm a resident of Oakland County. I've lived in the area here for 48 years. For the last year, we've been coming here to petition you guys to bring a ceasefire resolution to the floor, and you have failed to do so. That's okay. I got
we
it.
can hear him, and it's,
I got it.
And yeah, it's being broadcast as well.
So today, I'm here to talk about a current crisis that's happening in Gaza. This picture here is not of Holocaust. This is Gaza cost, okay? As of today, there are 85 children in the last 60 days that starved to death because of what Israel is doing to the Palestinians in Gaza. Even our President Trump, who is a huge Israel supporter, has been blasting Israel. European countries have recalled their ambassadors, and we have failed to do anything here in this county just to bring a ceasefire resolution to the floor. 3 days ago, Israel allowed 8 trucks into Gaza, 5. On a normal day, they get 500. They get 5. But listen to this. 2 of those trucks had shrouds in them. 5 trucks were allowed in. 2 of the trucks were shrouds for dead bodies, for dead children. This morning, before I got here, the first thing in the morning, Israel bombed the building. 54 people in one family were under the rubble, still trying to dig them out today. 54 people from one family, mainly women and children, with American bombs and American weapons. And we have failed to bring the resolution, just to bring the resolution to the floor. That's all we're asking for. I don't know what your conscience is. I know what mine is. I know what I wake up every goddamn morning thinking. Every goddamn morning. This is not the America I came to. But this is the America I want to leave. Because this is not what I came here to. I don't know what it will take to move you guys. Is this enough? This is one of 87. In the last 60 days, 87 kids, 87 babies. So you guys can see, this is one of 16,000 kids already killed so far. 16,000. They have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go. They tell them go south, they bomb them. They have to go north, they bomb them. They did not leave a school. They did not leave a hospital. They did not leave university. They did not leave infrastructure. They did not leave anything. Anything.
Those are people I have signed up. Is there anybody else that would like to speak during public comment? Yes. If you can just state your name, community for the record.
Buenas noches. My name is Mike Flores. Actually, it would be buenos dias. My name is Mike Flores. I am from the city of Troy, and I am Oakland County. Before I begin, I want to be explicit in my condemnation of all violence rooted in hatred, racism, and supremacy. My condemnation is for all violence from 1492 to 1948, from 1948 to 2003, and from 2003 until today. Yet here we are again. Here we are, as the world stands on the brink of witnessing 14,000 children dying from starvation, not due to natural resources, not due to lack of global resources, but because of policy choices from an apartheid state. Choices funded by our federal dollars instead of funding the dam in Holly, or instead of funding our schools to improve us from being number 40-something to being number 1 in the nation, supported by our silence and ignored by those in power, including every single person sitting on this floor. And still, the commission refuses to bring forward a resolution that is pro-peace, pro-humanity, that reflects the values of Oakland County, a resolution that doesn't take sides in a political conflict, but instead affirms life, a resolution that simply calls for the protection of children, hospitals, schools, and the right for every human being to live with dignity? Why is it so damn hard to bring it to this floor? There are no procedural barriers left. There are the votes on both sides of this aisle. The community has spoken loudly and repeatedly, but the resolution still hasn't come to this floor. Why? All of you should be asking yourself, why? As speculation grows that Commissioner Woodward may be considering a run for higher office, whether it's the House, the Senate, or another position in leadership, I want to be very clear. You may be able to avoid this international and local issue here, but you will not be able to avoid it if you seek higher office. The questions will only get harder. Do you support the continued funding of an apartheid government? And if yes, how can you fight racism at home? If you support freedom of the press, how can you support a state that systematically targets journalists to silence the truth? If you support healthcare, education, and migrants, how can you support a state that bombs hospitals, schools, and refugee camps, killing civilians with US-supplied weapons? If you support justice and equality, how can you support a state that is carrying out what the world increasingly is recognizing as a genocide? This is not hyperbole. These are real questions that I would ask anyone who's going to be knocking on my door asking for a vote. If you do not support that, if you do not want to be complicit, then why don't you allow this resolution to come to the floor? The calls for peace, protecting of life, and humanitarian aid. The only conclusion left to draw is that this is a delay. This is silence. This is intentional. Is this strategically intentional to secure dark funding from oligarchs and PACs? So we will continue to return week after week, meeting after meeting, because while children starve and this commission says nothing, we will continue to be intentional as well. Commissioner Woodward, and this entire commission body, the question remains, why don't and won't you bring this pro-peace, pro-humanity resolution to this honorable floor? Gracias, and thank you this morning.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak during public comment?
I just have one comment that you made. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh.
No, please go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, when we honored mental health yesterday and you called somebody crazy, that actually really felt like an insult because I do have
I apologize.
So I accept your apology and I just be more mindful of that to other people.
Yeah. You are right. You're right.
So proud of you, girl. Keep it up. No, we need leaders like you. And he's not crazy, he's phenomenal. And what Commissioner Nelson and Kellogg are doing is what every one of us should be doing, holding transparency, holding everything to the truth. Thank you. You have our support. Keep it up. Do not stop. Now my time begins. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. My name is Alia and I'm in Oakland County. They are deliberately starving Gaza. This is not collateral damage. It is the tragedy of war. It is a premeditated state-orchestrated famine by the Democratic State of Israel, a campaign of deliberate deprivation enforced with missiles and reinforced by siege and tolerated by a complicit world. Food is blocked, water is cut, medicine is denied, and the so-called international community meets it with cowardly restraint and performative sorrow. While Gaza's children die with swollen bellies and parched lips, 14,000 do in 24 hours, by the way, governments issue empty statements like aspirin on a battlefield, a pathetic attempt to soothe the conscience while the body bleeds out. The United States has its hands soaked in blood, but in the hollow cries of starving infants. They arm the airstrikes and applaud the blockade, then feign humanity with press conference and photo ops. This is not war, this is annihilation, a campaign of ethnic cleansing executed by a European settler colonial entity impersonating as a nation state, dropping bomb after bomb while locking bread, water, and medicine just out of reach. It is not chaos, it is calculation. A deliberate genocide, a methodological purge, a modern-day Holocaust slow dripping through the hourglass. And the so-called leaders of the world watch. Their silence a signature of approval. And don't mistake history's gaze. It is not blind. You cannot starve a population, bomb its children, destroy its hospitals, and still call yourself civilized and act in self-defense. You cannot sponsor atrocity and claim the mantle of democracy. You cannot bury a people and expect silence from the living. For Israel has been doing this for 77 years, and the mask is finally off. The martyrs of Gaza will not rest. Their blood is not forgotten. Their souls will echo through every chamber of power, every institution that turned its back, every government that traded justice for allegiance. To the silent, you are not neutral, you are complicit. History will not ask why you didn't speak or what you feared. It will ask why you didn't speak when the sky fell and the earth wept. To the children of Gaza, we see you, we mourn you, and we carry your name like sacred fire, and we will never forget the architect of this horror. Commissioner Woodward, when you drink your water and eat your meals, I pray that you remember this picture very well each and every time, for this is a result of you not allowing the ceasefire resolution to come to a vote, for you not being our advocate at the state, and federal level in calling for peace and justice. But take note, the tides have turned, the people have awakened, we will not forget, and one day we will be victorious. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Abdullah Sheikh. I live here in Oakland County. I just want to mention something important. Resolution for pro-peace or pro-humanitarian, I can assure you it will not help the Palestinian and Palestine. But I can assure you it will help us. Because standing for rights help us be protected from God's anger. You know, the International Court already condemned them. And they issue arrest for Netanyahu and his cabinets. The International Court, Europe today, British cut relation with Israel and all that stuff. It's not doing anything. Netanyahu is bully and he's going forward. Whatever you do, it will not help them. But it will help us. Why? Because we are all tested. Every day, each one of you, each one of us is tested. God give us test. Either we make it or we fail. And this test, we have to stand up, whether it is a Palestinian or Israeli. Imagine if this is our children. Imagine if it is Birmingham or West Bloomfield. What happened to us? Do we do the same thing or do we take more aggressive action? I want to just include with one thing. You remember we are all brothers and sisters because we have our father is the same Adam. We are not from different father. Adam, then we have Noah, right? After everybody died. Noah, after the flood, Noah. So we are either the son of Noah, all of us, whether we are black or white or brown, we are all brothers and sisters. And we need to stand up as we are really brothers and sisters, whatever it is, the oppression. Hitler, every season, every time, come, another Hitler. And we are supposed to stand up so we can protect ourselves, number one. We can protect our children, number two. You know, God can take us, as you see, you know, the hurricanes, and in a few seconds, everything in America will become like Gaza, right? God has the ability to do, not even America. The whole earth will become like in a second. Between the B and E, everything will be gone, right? How we protect ourselves? By stand up to the right, do our duty, and leave the rest to God. He will decide when it is at. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Oh. Anyone else during public comment? Nope. We're not reading. Nope. You're a commissioner. This is for the public to speak to address the board. Anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, we will conclude public comment. We will stand adjourned until June 11th, 2025, or call the chair.
I have public comment.
Wow.